Students and teachers, winter got you down? Spending a little too much time in the house? Are you up for a challenge? Last year, Winterama participants traveled enough kilometers skating, skiing, running, sledding, and doing other movement activities to take them right around the world through the month of February. Remember that? Well, Rotary has a different challenge for you this year. This year, your school is going to take the leap in February and try their best to cross Canada in February's 29 days. Now that's a leap, even for a leap year. Do you think your school can do it? Do you think your students can collect enough pledges to beat last year's money you earned for your school? Well, we are betting that you can.
Hello, everyone. I am Erin Zorzi, chair of our 2024 Rotary Winterama. Rotary is challenging students in 8 local elementary schools this February to do 2 things. First, we are challenging your school to travel right across Canada in February, doing fun winter activities and other movement activities to get your kilometers in. Secondly, each participant can ask adults that you know if they would kindly pledge you to meet your personal goal. A pledge means that they will pay money to you to meet your kilometer goal in February. You collect those pledges either online or on paper and then turn them in. All the money you raise goes to important special projects in your school, like the nutrition programs and other important things that make your school a better place to learn. And before we tell you about this year's crazy Cross Canada Challenge, we will explain how you can collect those important money pledges for your school. Good luck, everyone.
This year, we have more and bigger prizes for students who collect the most pledge money for your school. Remember, all the money you collect goes to your school to fund important school projects and your school's breakfast and nutrition programs. You will be doing your part to make your school a better place. Winterama has created bigger and more prizes for the top pledge earners this year. Top prize for the biggest pledge earner in all of Winterama is now $200. Second place is $150. Third place is $100. And we now have a $50 prize for fourth place as well. As well, the top pledge earner in each school will receive a $25 prize, even if you have earned one of the other prizes. And just how do you collect those pledges? Some students will choose to collect some or all of your pledges with paper recording. You can collect these forms from the office or your teacher, and they look like this. For each person pledging you money, you need their full name, address, phone number, and pledge amount so that we can send them an income tax receipt. Keep all the cash, checks, and pledge forms in an envelope and hand it all to your teacher once you have collected all your paper pledges. Let us know on the form if you have also collected some online pledges. When people want to make online pledges to you, they can simply click the link that you send them after you set up your personal fundraising page. You can make your page as fancy as you want. Some techie students will even have videos and pics of themselves doing winter activities to show their supporters how they are getting their kilometers. And how do you set up your personal fundraising page? Well, first you need to log on to our Winterama website at this address. This website address, and the address for this video, is on the information sheet that your teacher will give you after the assembly. The website is designed by Nuclear Promise X. Once you are logged on to our Winterama website, just click the link at the bottom that says Donate Here. Rotarian Rob will now explain how you create your fundraising page.
Here's how to register online for this year's Rotary Winterama. Remember, registration is free. Use the highlighted link to go to the Canada Helps Rotary Winterama main page and then click the Create a Fundraiser button. This will take you to the registration page. You'll need to set up a Canada Helps account by entering an email address. It's important to remember that each student will need a separate email address to set up their account to be eligible for top fundraising prizes. Set up your account by entering and confirming your email address, entering and confirming your account password, and then click the Create an Account button. Once you've set up your account, you'll be returned to the registration page where you complete the information requested for your name, acknowledge the participation waiver, and the name of your fundraising page. Be sure to answer the question about which school you attend or would like to support. After you have registered, you will get an email confirmation with a link to your personal Winterama fundraising page. Copy the link with a personal message and send emails or other social media requests to potential supporters like your relatives, neighbors, friends, family, and with a link to your personal Winterama fundraising page. You can also personalize your fundraising page by adding your fundraising goal, personal messages, and pictures and videos. Your supporters can pledge money to your fundraising page by clicking the Donate Now button. If you'd rather use the traditional paper pledge sheet to register, please ask your teacher or contact Rotary Winterama at rotarywinterama@gmail.com. Winterama thanks you, and have fun.
So, do you think your school can travel all the way across Canada in 29 days? Is it possible for all your skating, skiing, sledding, snowshoeing, running, and walking kilometers to get you through all our provinces? Well, this year, the Winterama Committee has decided to let you use any exercise kilometers you earn to help your school cross our country. So, stationary bike, treadmill, your Fitbit kilometers, Stairmaster kilometers all count. So some of your teachers will be right there with you on your winter trip across Canada. To add your kilometers each day of February, your teacher will give you your Winterama number on a class list. Most teachers will just number you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to the last person in your class. Your teacher may also give a number to themselves and to staff that do not have a home room that want to help your class and school along. Once you know your Winterama number, on February 1st, you can go to our Winterama website designed by Nuclear Promise X. If you know how to bookmark websites, you will save time if you create a bookmark for this website since you will be using it a lot. Once it opens and the data loads, you will see all the participating schools listed and how many kilometers across Canada they have traveled. You will also see statistics at the top and when the website was last refreshed. Remember that the kilometers you enter do not get added to the total until the website is refreshed at midnight, just like last year. Go to the Click to Enter Kilometers button. In the first box, type your ID number, which is your Winterama number. You do not need to enter your school identification number, just the digit your teacher assigned you in class. But any number will work as long as you know what your number is. For your school ID, just click the code that represents your school. For those of you at St. Joseph's, you'll have to scroll down a bit to get to your school code. Next, you will click your class ID, which is usually the first 4 letters of your teacher's last name. In cases where there are 2 teachers in your school with the same last name, the class ID will be the initial of your teacher's first name and the first 3 letters of their last name. So, for example, Sauble's Mr. White will be A-W-H-I, while Mrs. White's Sauble class will be J-W-H-I. Then enter the kilometers that you did that day. If you're catching up on days you forgot to record kilometers, you might need to record separately for each day. This year we have a maximum of 15 kilometers you can add for one day. This is to discourage overexertion and to combat exaggerated scores that some students entered last year. Almost all students were very honest with their recording last year, but a few either misunderstood or exaggerated their kilometers, which was unfortunate. One pillar of Rotary International is honesty. In our 4-way test, which we say after every meeting, the first question we ask ourselves is it the truth? Be truthful in your recordings, boys and girls. To add to our motivation and to encourage our truthfulness, every class will receive this recording chart for their wall. As well as the NPX website for keeping track of your kilometers, you can color every 5 kilometers of your journey for your whole class to see. This chart will also tell you when you have reached the benchmark for our new prizes this year. The last square is 100 plus, or anything above 100. So it will be up to your teacher if he or she wants to extend the chart beyond that. Next, click what activity you did to earn your kilometers. If you did different activities on the same day, click each activity separately if you want to see an accurate profile of how you earned all your kilometers later. If the activity you did is not in the list, click Other. Then enter the date by clicking the little calendar on the right and selecting the day you earned those kilometers. Finally, click Submit and your data will be queued to enter when the website is refreshed at midnight. Just like last year, you will not see new data added to your total until the next day. If you have more data to enter, you can just click Submit Another Response and you go through the process again. Otherwise, just close that window and you can go back to the main homepage. On that page, if you want to see stats for your school, just hover your cursor over the bar representing your school. You will see a window pop up that tells you where your school ranks among the 8 schools, how many total kilometers your school has traveled, and what part of Canada you are in. Our journey starts in Newfoundland. You will also see a pie graph that shows the proportion of different activities done by your school to achieve your total. Cool, eh? If you click the Rank by Class tab, you will first see the top classes among all 8 schools, labeled by their school and teacher codes. To see how your class is doing in your school, you then go to the box that says Filter by School and click your school only. You will then get a display of all the classes in your school ordered from first to last in terms of total kilometers. Again, this data will be much more interesting once real students start inputting data. Finally, if you want to see how you personally are doing in your class, your school, or across all of Winterama, click the Rank by Participant tab. If there are no filters set, it will tell you the top individuals in all of Winterama. If you filter by school and click your school, it will show you the top people in your school. If you filter by school and then also filter by your class, you can see who the top people are in your class. Here are some of the rules for getting kilometers that you need to keep in mind. For skating, for public skating, every 6 laps counts as 1 kilometer, or you can use an electronic tracker like Strava to calculate your distance. When playing hockey or attending a figure skating lesson, every game or lesson counts as 3 kilometers of skating. For downhill skiing, every complete run counts as a kilometer. However, we are capping downhill skiing at 10 kilometers this year, even if you do more than 10 runs. If you enter more than 10 kilometers for skiing, you will find that it does not get added to your total the next day. For cross-country skiing, look at the club map or Google Maps to see how many kilometers you traveled in your loops, or just assume that for every 10 minutes you traveled 1 kilometer. Strava or an electronic tracker will work too. 10 kilometers maximum here as well. For snowshoeing, use Strava, an electronic tracker, a map, or Google Maps to track your kilometers, or assume that for every 15 minutes you traveled 1 kilometer snowshoeing. For walking, hiking, or running, use Strava, an electronic tracker, a map, or Google Maps to track your kilometers, or assume that for every 10 minutes of brisk walking you traveled 1 kilometer. If you are jogging, give yourself a kilometer every 7 minutes, if not using electronic help. For sledding, use Strava, an electronic tracker, to track your kilometers. Otherwise, figure out how many runs add up to 1,000 meters or 1 kilometer. Walking back up the hill counts too. For example, Eastwood Hill in Port Elgin earns you 200 meters for every run. 5 runs is 1 kilometer. Ask your parent if you are not sure about the distance you covered on any given day. The individual kilometer awards have changed this year. After 2 years of awarding medals, the Winterama committee decided to change it up. So we changed the distances slightly, and we are awarding fun prizes instead of medals for this cross-country challenge. All students who travel 25 or more kilometers will receive this Rotary Winterama bracelet. If you travel 50 kilometers to 74 kilometers, you'll receive this puzzle cube, as well as your Rotary bracelet. If you travel 75 or more kilometers, you'll receive this crazy hanging neon gorilla, as well as your Rotary bracelet. As in previous years, the class in your school that travels the most kilometers will win a recess activity bucket. And come out on Family Day, February 19th, and join Winterama for a skate, 9:30 to 11 o'clock at the Port Elgin Plex, and 12 o'clock to 1:30 at the Shallow Lake Community Center. There'll be free hot chocolate and free popcorn. And you'll also have a chance to do a puck toss for 2 attack tickets. Sound fun? Do you think your school can get across the second biggest country in the world in only 29 days? By the end of February, we hope that you are fitter, have a sense of accomplishment, and that through your pledges, you have earned impressive dollars to fund important projects to make your school a better place. We know that your enthusiastic, honest participation in Rotary Winterama will be beneficial to you, to your class, and to your school.